This tutorial begins with a review of all of the different methods and techniques we've used over the volume loop. We're going to work through them very quickly and then end this part of the tutorial with a transitional volume loop technique. This goes all the way back to some of the earliest lessons, where the most common way of working with the volume loop is the technique most of us call the Flyswatter. It's basically the first one we experiment with when we learn to play the theremin. And I think most of us find it to be much more tiring when you're trying to go rapidly, because you're using your rotator cuff, your elbow, your forearm, and your hand. It can get very tiring very fast. Please try this along with me. There is never a time when you should eliminate the Flyswatter, or any of the other techniques for that matter, from your repertoire over the volume loop. Use them all. Find out what they do best and how you use it best, and then you have all of these options. So the first, the most basic, the Flyswatter. The next is an evolution where you are now much more relaxed and just use your wrist. Pitch is irrelevant. Just make noise. Do it with me. Now, see the difference in using some rapid rhythms. Try to imitate this rhythm. Do it. Do it again. Try it. Remember, we're working at the threshold. It's okay for your fingers to dip right into the loop, but actually, all that sound is at the threshold. Try this one. Try that. The next one we worked with was a simple downstroke to get you used to going through the threshold. It works by starting on a pitch, and then using a simple downstroke through the threshold to get a single articulation of that same note. Did you hear it? It just gives you a split second of silence as it goes through the threshold. Then, as we got more and more about picturing that string, that little string across the threshold, you can get into much finer movements using a plucking motion that's mostly in the fingers as opposed to the wrist, but both do move. Try this. Don't worry about the pitches, just do the rhythm. Try it. Now, as we worked with that threshold, we also looked at just using a forward and back motion of your fingers. Try that. Try passing through the threshold both backwards and forwards. Find that spot near the loop, about 3 inches above if you've done that setting, where you get the cleanest differentiation between the notes. Now once you have it, let's work with a few rhythms. Try that. it's a good idea to go back. Practice each one of these. Try to get as clean a response as you can. Try to do some different rhythms. The next is an evolution of this motion. For lack of a better term, I'm simply going to call it a hand fan. Instead of concentrating just on these two fingers, use the entire hand. Can you do this? Try to do it. Get it to clean up that sound, the differentiation between notes through the threshold. Let's start. I'm going to go from slow to fast. You do the same. Ready? Try that. It's just 7 pulses. Let's do it a little faster. That's even faster. And finally, can you do it? Okay. This, as I said, is a transitional position, but you can certainly use it. You can use it to great effect. You can use it for rhythms. You can use it slow. You can use it fast, as we'll see next time. But for now, I'd like you to try one other effect, which is the most rapid you can do it, and you will get a tremolo effect, a sort of warbling effect. First, try it on a single pitch. Can you do it? Give it a try. How'd you do? You may want to pause and keep trying. Try to go for the cleanest differentiation through that threshold. What's happening is you're getting a tiny microsecond of silence between the two pulses to be able to differentiate the pitch. Try it again. What's great about using this, particularly if you're doing experimental soundscapes and noises and things like that, you can maintain a tremolo melody, such as the birthday song, like we've been doing. It's a little tough. You heard it was a little pitchy in there because you're moving so rapidly. Your body is also moving. It takes a little time to be able to hold everything still enough to keep those pitches right. But you get the idea. So, practice all of these, ending with the hand fan and try it at different speeds. Try it at different rhythms. We're going to be working with rhythms in the hand fan next, and then move on to the last extreme volume loop technique.